In this week's video, we're going to look at one of my favorite pieces of gear, these guys. I am going to simplify what focal length is, show you the different looks that they can achieve, and help you select one that best suits your story. Let's make an artist out of you.
Every time we touch, I feel at home. That's the way I'd ever let you go. When you put your hands in mine, I know I'm gonna be alright. I don't know what you do to me, but
Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kenneth Lawrence and this is part 4 of my photography tutorial series. If you're new around here and if you've missed part 1, 2 and 3, you can click on the playlist card above me, and in case it doesn't show up on your device, I'll also add a link in the description. In this video, we'll explore the kinds of focal lengths that range from fisheye and ultra wide all the way to the super telephoto. We'll look at lenses that have fixed focal lengths, aka prime lenses, and those that have variable focal lengths, aka zoom lenses. If you enjoy this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. A big shout out to Accord Equips for sending me most of the lenses that will be featured in this video. So let's get to it. What is focal length and what does the number you see on a lens really mean? Going beneath the surface, focal length is the distance between the optical center of a lens and the camera's sensor. This distance is measured in millimeters. If the focal length is 35 millimeters, the lens is called a 35 mm lens. Focal lengths can range from 8 mm all the way to 800 mm and they affect the angle of view. That's how much of the world in front of the camera lens gets photographed. The smaller or shorter the focal length, the wider the image. And the larger or longer the focal length, the narrower the image. Let's look at all these prime lenses individually before moving into zoom lenses. This is an 8 mm prime lens. As seen in this diagram, it has an extremely wide angle of view. It is so wide that the photograph gets completely distorted. On a full frame camera, you can see the inside of the lens with the fisheye distortion. They are popular amongst music festival photographers, skateboarders, and selfie enthusiasts because they capture a close subject and include a large amount of the surroundings. Fisheye lenses have a large depth of field and almost everything is in focus. In addition to just having a cool look, you're able to give importance to both your subject and the environment that they're in. This 14 mm prime lens also has a wide angle of view. It has reduced distortion and it's called an ultra-wide-angle lens. It's most popular amongst interior photographers because of the constrained spaces that they normally work in. This 14 mm ends up making small spaces look much larger than they actually are. Landscape photographers and now even vloggers use this focal length because there's just so much that you can fit into the frame. This ultra-wide angle lens has a large depth of field as well. These are the 24 mm and 35 mm prime lenses that have wide angles of view. The 24 mm is of course wider than the 35 mm, which is on the higher range of wide angle lenses. Both focal lengths are commonly used for interiors, landscapes, architecture, travel, and more. Distortion is comparatively reduced but is still evident, and the depth of field starts to get mildly shallow. The 50 mm prime lens is called a standard or normal lens because of the angle of view that it renders. It isn't wide nor is it too zoomed in. Distortion is less evident at this focal length and the lens is a favorite for portrait photography. It is also commonly used for product photography and F&B. Higher focal lengths compress space and this compression increases with the increase in focal length. Enter the telephoto range with the 85 mm prime lens. The angles of view are much narrower, there is very little distortion and you can accurately photograph the human face. These focal lengths are also used for close-up portraits, products, F&B, and more. The depth of field is so shallow that you can simply isolate the subject that you want in focus. Super telephoto prime lenses that range from 300mm to 800mm have such a narrow angle of view that they can photograph far away subjects while being non-intrusive. The distortion is almost non-existent, and this focal range is largely dedicated to sports and wildlife photography. All the prime lenses that we just looked at have fixed focal lengths, and that means you can't zoom in or zoom out. If you want to go from a wide shot of your subject to a close-up, you have to physically move forward to get that tighter shot. Prime lenses are lighter because they have fewer optical elements within them. They produce pin-sharp imagery, and most of the established photographers and filmmakers swear by prime lenses because of their unparalleled image quality. There are other times when having the flexibility of a zoom lens is a godsend. You can get a range of wide, mid, and close-up shots without having to switch lenses. From photo enthusiasts to photojournalists/documentary photographers and even the professionals, zoom lenses are the most convenient go-to and a must-have in your lens kit. This is an 11 to 16mm ultra-wide-angle zoom lens. At 11mm on a full-frame camera, you can see the inside of the lens with the fisheye distortion. Zoom in to 16mm and things start to look normal as the angle of view gets slightly narrower. The depth of field is large and almost everything is in focus. Here's a 16 to 35mm ultra-wide-angle zoom lens. At 16mm, it establishes its ultra-wide angle of view. Zoom into 35mm and the distortion is visibly reduced. We see the subject slowly separate from the background as the depth of field begins to get mildly shallow. Here's a 24 to 70mm wide to normal zoom lens. It's one of the most versatile professional zooms out there because you can achieve a wide shot, mid shot, and mid close-up all in one lens. Here's a 70 to 200mm normal to telephoto zoom lens. It's another beast of a lens in the professional zoom series that delivers mid shots and close-ups. The compression of space obviously goes higher and the depth of field becomes incredibly shallow. How about we bring in the big guns? Here are the 100-400 and the 200-400 super telephoto zoom lenses. The 200 to 400mm has an inbuilt 1.4x teleconverter. Just for the sake of comparison, here's what a 14mm shot looks like. And here's what a 400mm shot looks like. Engage the 1.4x teleconverter and the focal length goes up to 560mm. Keep in mind that a 50mm lens on a full-frame sensor is still a 50mm lens on a crop frame sensor. The focal length doesn't change, but the photographed image size does. I hope this tutorial cleared all your doubts about focal length and lensing. Let me know your favorite lens in the comments below and the style of photographs that you enjoy capturing with it. If you still have any queries, feel more than free to ask them as well. I will answer each and every one of you. In future uploads, I'm going to be talking about composition techniques, natural lighting, raw image processing, and a lot more. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, please hit the like button and subscribe. Your support is going to help me build this channel and community and take it a long, long way. See you in the next one.
Every time we touch, I feel at home. That's the way I'd ever let you go. When you put your hands in mine, I know I'm gonna be alright. I don't know what you do to me, but
Come on, Kenny boy, don't laugh. Nothing is funny. Zoom lenses are the most convenient. Yippity-doo-dah, yippity-day. Why am I having such a slow day?